Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So I finally got started on my king hauler, and I thought I'd give you an update on where I'm at. So here it is. I threw some wheels and tires on here just to see how everything looked, but I'll go over the build. I'll show you exactly what I got done. So I got the two servos, everything centered up, everything mounted up, frame rails, cross beams, everything installed. These brackets that come off the sides, these are for the fuel tanks and for the steps. On the underside, the axles are all together, leaf spring suspension. And on the underside, you can see the steering link. This is installed, and also the transmission. This is the shift rod. This is installed, ready to go. Just need to get the transmission done. This build is actually a little different than the Grand Hauler, which isn't a good or bad thing. It's just a little bit different. On the rear, the Grand Hauler has these like rubber stoppers. It actually limits the suspension travel on the rear. This does not. I'm assuming because of the fender flares, the King Hauler does not have fender flares, and you can get full range of motion. Just seems like there's a lot more flex in the King Hauler. The shocks are just springs. There's a little bit of grease in there just to keep them smooth, but they're not oil filled or anything. They're just a regular spring with a screw. You screw on the end point. These go together pretty quickly. Here's your differentials. Everything goes together real smooth. It's really not complicated at all. Had this together pretty quickly actually. And overall I was on a pretty good roll. Didn't really make many mistakes. There was only two that I made. When you're doing your U-bolts on the rear, it actually has you put on locking nuts. When you do the front, it has you actually put on flange nuts as opposed to the locking washers. So what ended up happening was I ran short on lock nuts, realized what I did, changed them all out, easy fix. The other mistake I made was I forgot to actually put these shocks onto the suspension setup. I put the bolt through, I put the locking nut on, I just never hooked up the shock. So real simple, back this off, hook the shock up, good to go. Steps 17, 18, these were really late at night. Guess I was getting tired, so I got sloppy. Called it a finish. Now I'm moving on to step 20, which is the transmission. Also in this manual, this does not include directions for the MFC. So I'm going to have to pay attention to when I need to incorporate elements from the MFC. MFC, of course, is the multi-function control unit. The Grand Hauler actually showed in the directions where to put the MFC in place of the stock parts, say. So it was a little easier to figure out. So I'm kind of glad that I did the Grand Hauler first, and now I'm building this. I know what to kind of do before I get to it. So what I'll do is I'll get the transmission together, I'll get to a nice stopping point, I'll give another recap as far as what I did, kind of go over any challenges or anything that happened while I was building. I'm highly encouraging questions, things that if you're building one, if you have any problems or need any advice or help, please let me know. I'll try to help you out. This is my second build, so I feel a little bit better than the first time around. So I'll be sure to update as I move through. So if you like what you saw, please click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a great day. I will see everybody soon.